back. Today was a dramatic day in Kenosha, Wisconsin, as murder defendant Kyle Rittenhouse took the stand in his own defense. Now, you probably remember, he is the white teenager who chose to cross state lines from Illinois last year to stand guard during a protest against police brutality in the wake of the killing of George Floyd. He was armed with an AR-15 style rifle, and he ultimately shot 3 people, killing 2 of them. And he is on trial now for those killings. Rittenhouse testified earlier today, crying and sobbing, that he, quote, did what he had to do to stop those that he calls attackers. Now, the use of language in this trial is worth noting because the judge in the case banned the use of the word victim to describe the deceased, but allowed Kyle to call them attackers. For more on this, I want to bring in criminal defense attorney Sue Ann Robinson. Sue Ann, welcome to the show. You know, many people today found that the crying bit seemed to be a little bit performative, and I say many people because I'm watching reactions kind of roll in on the socials. I wonder, you know, what your reaction so far to Kyle's testimony is and how you think the jurors might be receiving it.
Yeah, I don't think you can play it both ways. I don't think you can be big bad white vigilante and then come on the stand and cry and hyperventilate when you have to speak about these things that you had to do to protect yourself. I just don't think you can have it both ways. Either you're there to protect and guard and you're strong and that's why you have this weapon and that's what you're there to do, or you're a 17-year-old kid that made a mistake. And I think he's trying to use both. And, you know, it's the oldest trick in the book. Trial is theater. And to the extent that he can garner sympathy from the jury, from their emotions, you know, that's what he's going to do. I mean, that's why he's testifying.
Yeah, well, you know, this judge, too, has been interesting as a part of the backdrop of all this theater. The judge has been hell-bent on keeping, quote-unquote, politics out of the trial. But both jurors and experts are saying, how can you even do that given the current climate, specifically, you know, what all of this, the backdrop of all of this, right? The process itself. At the same time, you got the very judge who told the prosecution that they couldn't refer to the people that Rittenhouse shot as victims. Even though he doesn't want to politicize this, it seems to me that there are some real political leanings here. That is just my personal observation. And I'm curious, what exactly are your thoughts about all of this? And isn't this inherently, you know, political, the entire case, given it happened at a political protest?
Right. You make a great point, Aisha, because it is inherently political because essentially white vigilantes have made him into a symbol. You know, pro-gun people have made him into a symbol for their constitutional right to bear arms. In my opinion, I don't think backing him is going to age well since he was 17. He was breaking the law and then ended up in a terrible situation where he killed 2 people. And so I hope that comes through to the jury. The issue with respect to the judge, there's multiple studies that discuss implicit bias, okay? And it got to the point today where, you know, the judge's behavior towards the prosecution almost became, you know, obvious that he was leaning against the prosecution. The judge's job is to be the referee. They're supposed to call the balls and the strikes in the trial. They're not supposed to have skin in the game. They're supposed to make sure that the game is played on a level playing field. That's it. So when I see a judge sitting on the bench making objections for the defense while the defendant is testifying, it gives me concern. I draw a pause. When yes, pre-trial, he had many rulings that were very concerning, including his ruling that victim could not be used because that was a loaded word, but rioters and looters was appropriate. Very questionable ruling. But today, his behavior, it's almost like he came out of himself and, you know, acted very unprofessionally. I've been in trial hundreds of times. Been on trial with other attorneys that skate close to the line on a court's ruling because that's what you're doing. It's advocacy. So for the court to absolutely come out of his skin, knowing all of the cameras are there, it also makes me wonder, how is he when no one is around? When no one is around, how does
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I saw all of that play out too, and I will always admit that I am one of the few people who spent 20 years in Washington, D.C. that does not have a law degree, so I am not coming to this at all with a lawyer's eye, and certainly like your experience. But I gotta say, I watched a particular one of those instances with the judge where he like sent everybody out and then hemmed up the prosecution and had a whole nasty back and forth with him about whether or not, I think what the prosecution was trying to do was essentially make the case that Kyle was using his gun to supposedly defend property, and then it gets murky because was he defending himself? You can't use your gun to defend property. Whatever it was, there was a back and forth. And the judge legit was arguing for the defense and was saying, no, that's not what he was using his guns for. He already said he wasn't going to. And I was just so shocked and wondering what the accountability mechanism is for a judge, right? When you know that you've got, when you've got situations like with Ahmaud Arbery, or, where you end up with a botched jury, or you have a situation with a bad judge that clearly is demonstrating bias in a way that, is out there for all to see. What is the accountability there? Is it, what do you do if the verdict happens and it doesn't feel like it went the right way, no matter how bad the prosecution is, by the way?
Right. And it really depends. I mean, there isn't a specific mechanism for a judge who's exhibiting their implicit bias. There isn't one. So that goes back to what I discussed about the jury selection in Ahmaud Arbery's case. There are certain things in place, mechanisms in place to provide a balance and a check. But what do you do in a situation where there's a judge that is clearly, in my opinion, having an issue controlling his implicit bias? What do you do? And then with the facts of the case being so hinged upon protesters' rights and the rights of people to exercise their First Amendment rights, it's almost like if this judge is essentially putting facts in front of the jury or disallowing facts in front of the jury, and it turns out Kyle Rittenhouse isn't convicted, what does it say for peaceful protesters that are out there and being monitored or watched by these vigilante groups? They have a green light. So that's really my concern. Yes. And I think at the end of the day, like I said, these people have made him into a symbol and created a whole thing to make it seem like white vigilantism is on trial. When the issue is, that's a 17-year-old kid that should not have had a weapon in the first place. So backing him as your pro-gun rights person, you're backing the wrong horse. He's not representative of your actual base if he's a 17-year-old kid.
So I got literally like 45 seconds, but because you're a defense attorney, I want to say, that they're trying to argue that Wisconsin's hunting laws allowed him to just freely walk around carrying his weapon in the streets. I don't know about you, but I associate justifications like this with white vigilantism. So talk to me about how that defense is actually connected to that, and set the record straight, because to me, there's a precedent that's always been set in this country about why white men can run around with their guns and kill people, and everybody shrugs.
Yeah, he's not, well, he might be hunting, but he's hunting for people. If he's already said he was part of a militia or some sort of group that was supposed to be protecting property, he didn't say he was out there looking for deer or anything like that. And when he was asked that by the prosecution on the stand, he said, I didn't get the gun for hunting. I got it because it looked cool. So that's why my point that pro Second Amendment people backing him as their guy and making him their symbol, they're wrong. They're wrong.
Yeah. Criminal defense attorney Sue Ann Robinson, thank you so much for breaking all of this down for us, with us. I've got to have you back on to talk all the cases that we're looking at right now. So appreciate you.